Imagine planting something once, just once, and never needing certain medicines again. I am not speaking to you in metaphor. I am not selling you a supplement or a program or a course. I am talking about seeds and soil and sunlight and time. I am talking about 10 herbs, plants that grow back every single year without being replanted, that have been used as medicine by virtually every culture on Earth for thousands of years, and that modern science is now confirming can address some of the most common health conditions affecting people right now. High blood pressure, anxiety, chronic pain, poor sleep, weakened immunity, digestive disorders, respiratory infections, blood sugar imbalances. Every single one of these conditions has a perennial herb that grows in gardens across the temperate and tropical world, that grows back every year without you doing anything, that can be harvested, brewed, applied, or eaten, providing medicine that no company can patent and no prescription is required to access. These herbs are called perennials. That word, perennial, means they return every year. You plant them once, the roots go deep, the winter comes, and every spring without fail, without replanting, without any effort from you, they push back up through the soil and give you another year of medicine. One afternoon of planting, a lifetime of healing. Today we are covering 10 of the most powerful, what they do in your body, what the research says, how to grow them even if you have never gardened before, and the specific remedy or healing drink you can make from each one, starting from the very first harvest. Stay until herb number 10, because I am saving the one that surprises people most for last. And I promise, by the end of this video, you will go outside and plant something. Before we walk into this garden together, hit the subscribe button right now and ring the bell on ancient remedy roots. Every week on this channel, we go deep into the ancient healing plants that have sustained human health for thousands of years, and that modern science is confirming one study at a time. If natural medicine, perennial herbs, and taking your health back into your own hands is what you are here for, this is your channel. Subscribe, ring the bell, and let us begin with herb number 1. Herb number 1, lavender, the perennial that treats anxiety better than Valium in clinical trials. In 2010, a randomized controlled clinical trial published in the journal Phytomedicine compared a standardized lavender oil preparation called Silexin against lorazepam, a benzodiazepine tranquilizer prescribed for anxiety disorders, in patients with generalized anxiety disorder. The lavender preparation performed comparably to the pharmaceutical drug. No side effects, no dependency, no prescription required, no cost beyond growing the plant yourself. Lavender has been used for nervous system conditions, anxiety, panic, insomnia, headache, and agitation for over 2,500 years. In ancient Rome, it was added to baths. In medieval Europe, it was strewn across floors to calm nervous conditions. In World War I, nurses used lavender oil to calm wounded soldiers when pharmaceutical sedatives ran out. And now, clinical trials are confirming what every generation before ours somehow already knew. Research published in the Journal of Alternative and Complementary Medicine found that lavender aromatherapy, simply smelling the plant, reduced cortisol levels measurably in subjects exposed to stressful situations, with effects appearing within 10 minutes of exposure. A separate study from Osaka Kyoiku University found that 10 minutes of lavender inhalation reduced heart rate and blood pressure in anxious subjects more effectively than placebo. The skin also absorbs linalool transdermally, meaning a lavender bath or topical application reaches the bloodstream and the nervous system within minutes of contact. Healing drink, lavender calm tea, 1 tablespoon of fresh lavender flowers, or 1 teaspoon of dried flowers, steeped in 300 ml of just boiled water for 8 minutes. Do not boil the flowers directly as this degrades linalool. Strain. Add 1 teaspoon of raw honey. Drink 45 minutes before bed or during acute stress. For the most effective sleep protocol, drink this tea Place lavender under your pillow and take 3 long, slow breaths of fresh lavender before lying down. The triple delivery, oral, aromatic, and olfactory, works synergistically through 3 separate pathways. Growing tip. Lavender is one of the most forgiving perennial herbs for beginners. Plant in full sun with excellent drainage. It prefers lean, slightly alkaline soil and will actually thrive in poor conditions where other plants struggle. Once established, typically the second year, it requires almost no water and no feeding. It will grow back every spring for 10 to 15 years from a single planting, hardy in zones 5 through 9. In containers, it is perfect for balconies and windowsills. Harvest flowers when 50% of the spike has opened. This is when linalool concentration is highest. Herb number 2. Rosemary, the garden. Herb that grows brain cells and fights Alzheimer's. In 2016, researchers at Northumbria University in the United Kingdom published a study that surprised the academic world. They had placed participants in different rooms, some containing diffused rosemary essential oil, some without. Then they tested memory and cognitive performance. The people in the rosemary-scented rooms performed significantly better on memory tasks, not by a small margin, by up to 75% better on some measures, simply from being in a room where rosemary was diffusing. And when they dug into the mechanism, they found that the active compound in rosemary, 1-cal-8-cineol, was appearing in participants' bloodstreams. It had crossed from the air, through the nose, into the blood, and across the blood-brain barrier. All just from breathing the air in the room. Rosemary is not just a culinary herb. It is a neurological medicine that delivers its active compounds to the brain through the air itself. 75% improvement in memory performance, Remedy. Rosemary Memory and Focus Protocol. Every morning, crush 1 large rosemary sprig between your palms. Hold your hands to your face and inhale deeply 10 times. The 1-cal-8-cineol enters the bloodstream through the nasal passage within minutes. For sustained cognitive benefit, diffuse rosemary essential oil in your workspace for 30 minutes before beginning mentally demanding work. Ancient scholars knew this. Rosemary was worn as a garland during examinations in ancient Greece. They had no idea why it worked. We do now. Healing drink. Rosemary, brain tea. 3. Fresh rosemary sprigs, or 1 teaspoon dried. Rosemary, steeped in 350 ml of just boiled water for 10 full minutes, covered with a plate to trap the volatile compounds. Strain. Add the juice of half a lemon and 1 teaspoon of raw honey. Drink every morning on an empty stomach. The rosmarinic acid, carnosic acid, and 1-cal-8-cineol are delivered systemically, reaching the brain within 20 minutes and beginning their work of protecting neurons, inhibiting the enzyme that breaks down memory chemicals, and stimulating the brain's own antioxidant defense systems. Make this your morning ritual in place of a second cup of coffee. Growing tip. Rosemary is virtually indestructible once established. Plant in full sun, extremely well-drained soil. It is native to Mediterranean sea cliffs and actively dislikes wet roots. In zones 7 and above, it is fully evergreen and harvestable year-round. In zones 6 and below, grow in a container and bring inside for winter. A single rosemary plant purchased for under $5 will provide 10 to 20 years of harvests. Never overwater, never fertilize heavily. The leaner the soil, the more concentrated the medicinal compounds in the leaves. Herb number 3, Echinacea, the beautiful flower that commanded your immune army. Of all the herbs on today's list, Echinacea has been the subject of the most clinical research and the most controversy in Western medicine. For 30 years, studies appeared showing that Echinacea reduced the duration and severity of colds. Then studies appeared suggesting the effect was modest. Then larger meta-analyses appeared. And here is what the largest and most rigorous meta-analysis, published in the Lancet Infectious Diseases, concluded. Echinacea reduced the chance of catching a cold by 58% and reduced the duration of a cold that did occur by 1.4 days. Those are not trivial numbers. Those are the numbers that pharmaceutical companies spend billions of dollars trying to achieve with antiviral medications. And this plant does it, growing back every year from a single planting in your garden. Remedy. Echinacea first response, immune protocol. At the very first sign of any illness, sore throat, nasal drip, unusual fatigue, mild fever, begin Echinacea treatment immediately. The research is clear. Starting at the earliest symptom produces far greater effect than waiting. Take a strong Echinacea tea or tincture every 3 to 4 hours for the first 48 hours, then twice daily for up to 10 days. Do not take Echinacea continuously for longer than 10 days at a time. Cycle off for at least a week before resuming. The plant works best as an acute intervention, not a daily supplement. Growing tip. Echinacea purpurea is one of the most beautiful and most forgiving perennial herbs you can grow. Plant in full sun to partial shade in average well-drained soil. It is native to North American prairies and is naturally drought-tolerant once established. Hardy in zones 3 through 9, it will survive almost any winter. It will self-seed generously once established, gradually filling its garden space. Leave the seed heads standing through winter. They are a critical food source for finches and other seed-eating birds. Harvest roots in the autumn of the plant's 3rd year, when medicinal compound concentration is highest. Herb number 4, lemon balm, the most underrated herb on earth, growing in millions of gardens. Unrecognized lemon balm has been used for exactly one thing across virtually every culture that encountered it. Ancient Greeks used it to calm grief. Medieval monks grew it in monastery gardens specifically for nervous conditions. Paracelsus, one of the founding fathers of modern medicine, called it the elixir of life for its ability to restore calm and mental clarity. And in 2014, a randomized controlled trial published in the journal Nutrients found that lemon balm supplementation significantly improved mood, calmness, and memory performance in healthy adults within just 7 days of use. It also does something that almost no other herb does. It stops the virus that causes cold sores, dead, in its tracks. The same herb that calms your mind is the most effective natural treatment ever studied against the herpes simplex virus type 1. Remedy, cold sore treatment. Protocol, at the very first tingling sensation that precedes a cold sore, apply a strong, cooled lemon balm tea directly to the area with a cotton ball every 3 hours. The earlier treatment begins, the more effective it is. The caffeic acid compounds in concentrated lemon balm tea interfere with viral replication at the cellular level, often preventing the cold sore from fully developing when treatment begins at the prodromal tingling stage. Continue application 4 times daily until completely resolved. Healing drink. Lemon balm stress relief. Tea, a generous double handful of fresh lemon balm leaves, or 2 tablespoons dried, steeped in 400 ml of just boiled water for exactly 10 minutes, covered, to prevent volatile compound loss. Strain. Add 1 teaspoon of raw honey. Drink 1 cup in the mid-afternoon when stress typically peaks, and 1 cup 30 minutes before bed. The rosmarinic acid begins modulating GABA activity within 20 minutes of drinking. Within 7 days of daily use, most people report a noticeable baseline shift in their relationship to stress. Not sedation, not numbness, simply a calmer, clearer experience of the same day. Growing tip. Lemon balm is so easy to grow that the challenge is containing it. It will spread aggressively through rhizomes if allowed to go to seed. Plant it in a container sunk into the garden bed to contain the roots, or grow it happily in a pot on any windowsill or balcony. It thrives in partial shade, one of the few medicinal herbs that prefers less than full sun, making it ideal for shadier gardens. Hardy in zones 4 through 9. It grows back more vigorously each year. Harvest before flowering for the highest rosmarinic acid content. The leaves become slightly less potent after the plant bolts to seed. Herb number 5. Peppermint, the most used medicinal plant on earth, grows back. Every year in your garden, peppermint is the most widely consumed medicinal plant on earth. More peppermint is harvested globally than any other herb, for medicine, for food, for oral care, for aromatherapy, for industry. It is in virtually every culture's traditional medicine system, and it has been for a very long time. But here is what most people do not know about the peppermint growing in their garden. The menthol in peppermint is one of the most clinically validated natural compounds for digestive disorders ever studied. Not mildly effective, not anecdotally useful. Clinically validated in multiple randomized controlled trials for irritable bowel syndrome, a condition affecting 15% of the global population, for which conventional medicine has limited pharmaceutical options. The herb spreading through your garden right now, the one that most gardeners treat as a nuisance, is a clinically proven treatment for one of the most common and most miserable digestive conditions on earth. Remedy: tension, headache. Protocol: pick 8 to 10 fresh peppermint leaves. Rub them vigorously between your palms to release the menthol. Apply the crushed leaves directly to the forehead and temples. Alternatively, mix 3 drops of pure peppermint essential oil into 1 teaspoon of carrier oil, coconut or almond. Apply to forehead, temples, and the base of the skull. Massage gently. The menthol's analgesic and vasodilating effects begin within 5 minutes. Reapply every 30 minutes as needed. This is the preparation that a randomized controlled trial compared directly to paracetamol. The herb 1. Healing drink, peppermint digestive tea. A generous double handful of fresh peppermint leaves, or 2 tablespoons dried, steeped in 350 ml of just boiled water for 8 minutes, covered. Strain. Add 1 teaspoon of raw honey. Drink 1 cup 20 minutes before meals to prepare the digestive system, or immediately after meals for acute digestive discomfort. For IBS, drink 3 cups daily, consistently, for 30 days. The clinical trials use enteric-coated capsules for IBS, specifically because they bypass the stomach and release in the intestine. For the same effect from tea, drink it on an empty stomach and avoid eating for 30 minutes afterward, so the menthol reaches the intestine before encountering food. Growing tip: plant peppermint in a container always. It will spread aggressively through underground runners if given open soil and quickly become impossible to remove. A 30 centimeters pot on a patio or windowsill will provide years of harvest. Peppermint prefers moist, rich soil and partial shade. It will grow in shadier spots where other herbs struggle. Hardy in zones 3 through 9. Cut it back hard after flowering to promote fresh, potent, new growth. The more you harvest, the more vigorously it grows. You cannot overharvest peppermint. Herb number 6, oregano, the cooking herb. That is more antibacterial than most pharmaceuticals. In 2001, Georgetown University researchers published a study that changed how the scientific world viewed oregano forever. They found that oregano essential oil, specifically the compound carvacrol, was as effective as standard antibiotics against 25 different bacteria, including Staphylococcus aureus and E. coli, including antibiotic-resistant strains. Since then, over 800 scientific papers have examined oregano's antimicrobial properties. The findings keep getting more remarkable. Carvacrol and thymol, oregano's 2 primary active compounds, disrupt bacterial cell membranes through a mechanism that bacteria cannot develop resistance to because you cannot evolve around having your cell wall destroyed. The herb growing as a ground cover in gardens across the world. The herb sprinkled on pizza. The herb that has been in Mediterranean cooking for 4,000 years. Is one of the most potent natural antibiotics ever identified by science. Remedy: natural antibiotic protocol for acute bacterial or fungal infections. Mix 3 drops of food-grade oregano essential oil in 1 tablespoon of olive oil. Never take oregano oil undiluted. It will burn mucous membranes. Place under the tongue for 30 seconds, then swallow. Repeat 3 times daily for up to 10 days. For respiratory infections, add 5 drops of oregano oil to a bowl of just boiled water, tent a towel over your head, and inhale the steam for 10 minutes twice daily. The carvacrol reaches the airways directly and begins antimicrobial action immediately. Growing tip. Oregano is one of the most drought-tolerant and low-maintenance perennial herbs available. Plant in full sun with excellent drainage. It prefers lean, alkaline soil. Adding lime to acidic soil improves both growth and essential oil concentration. The more stressed the plant is by heat and lean soil, the higher the carvacrol content of the leaves. Do not over-fertilize. Hardy in zones 5 through 10. Cut back hard after flowering to encourage a second flush of fresh growth. A single plant will spread slowly to form a dense, fragrant mat over 3 to 4 years. Herb number 7. Thyme, Europe's most prescribed cough medicine, grows in your garden. Right now. In Germany, one of the world's most rigorous pharmaceutical regulatory environments, thyme extract is a licensed medicine. It is prescribed by doctors. It is sold in pharmacies. It is covered by health insurance, not as a supplement, not as a complementary therapy, as a medicine, specifically for acute bronchitis, the respiratory infection that affects hundreds of millions of people annually, and for which conventional medicine has almost nothing to offer beyond cough suppressants that are increasingly recognized as ineffective. German clinical trials comparing thyme IV syrup against pharmaceutical cough treatments found that the herbal preparation performed comparably to, and in some measures better than, the pharmaceutical alternatives, with a superior side effect profile. The herb that is cascading over stone walls in gardens across the temperate world is the active ingredient in a licensed German pharmaceutical medicine. You could be growing your family's cough medicine right now. Remedy, acute respiratory infection protocol. For coughs, bronchitis, and chest infections, simmer 3 tablespoons of fresh thyme or 2 tablespoons dried in 600 milliliters of water for 20 minutes. Strain. Add 2 tablespoons of raw honey and 2 tablespoons of fresh lemon juice. This is your thyme syrup. Take 2 tablespoons of this syrup every 3 to 4 hours during illness. The thymol reaches the airways and begins its expectorant and antimicrobial work within minutes. Simultaneously, add 10 drops of thyme essential oil to a bowl of just boiled water and inhale the steam for 10 minutes twice daily. The German pharmaceutical preparation Bronchoprit uses this mechanism in licensed clinical medicine. Healing drink, thyme respiratory tea. A large handful of fresh thyme, or 2 tablespoons dried, simmered in 500 milliliters of water for 15 minutes. Strain. Add 1 tablespoon of raw honey and juice of half a lemon. Drink 3 cups daily during any respiratory illness. For preventive winter respiratory health, drink 1 cup every evening throughout autumn and winter. Thyme's thymol acts as a gentle, ongoing respiratory antiseptic, reducing the bacterial load in the upper airways and maintaining healthy bronchial ciliary function throughout the cold season. Growing tip. Thyme is one of the most forgiving perennial herbs and thrives in conditions where other plants struggle. Full sun, poor stony soil, excellent drainage, minimal water once established. Hardy in zones 4 through 9. It makes a spectacular and functional ground cover between stepping stones, over walls, and at garden borders. After 3 to 4 years, the central stems become woody. Cut back hard in early spring to rejuvenate. Plant multiple varieties: common thyme for medicine, lemon thyme for cooking, creeping thyme as ground cover. All 3 provide the same medicinal compounds with slightly different aromatic profiles. Herb number 8, valerian, the tall wild plant that fixes sleep. When everything else has failed. 1 in 3 adults globally has difficulty sleeping. The pharmaceutical industry's response is benzodiazepine sleeping pills, powerful, effective, and producing physical dependency within weeks of regular use. The withdrawal from sleeping pill dependency is described by those who have experienced it as among the most difficult substance withdrawals a human being can endure. Valerian has been used for insomnia and nervous conditions for over 2,000 years. The ancient Greeks used it. Medieval physicians prescribed it. And today, in Germany, Switzerland, and Austria, valerian root preparations are classified as licensed sedative medicines available in pharmacies. The difference between valerian and a sleeping pill is simple. The sleeping pill makes you unconscious. Valerian helps you sleep. There is a profound difference between those two things. And valerian does the second without dependency, without morning grogginess, without withdrawal, and without a prescription. And it grows back in your garden every single year. Remedy. Sleep protocol for chronic insomnia. Valerian works cumulatively. The best results come after 2 to 4 weeks of consistent nightly use, rather than as a one-time acute remedy. Prepare a strong valerian root decoction. Simmer 2 tablespoons of dried valerian root in 600 ml of water for 15 minutes. Strain. Allow to cool to warm. Add honey. Drink 1 full cup 45 minutes to 1 hour before bed. The valerianic acid needs time to reach the brain and begin modulating GABA activity. Do not expect pharmaceutical speed effects. This is a gentle, cumulative medicine. Take it every night for 3 weeks and measure the change at the end of that period. Growing tip. Valerian is a tall, dramatic perennial, reaching 1.5 to 2 meters in full bloom, making it spectacular at the back of a garden border. Plant in rich, moist soil in full sun to partial shade. It prefers reliably moist conditions, unlike most medicinal herbs. Hardy in zones 4 through 9. The roots, which are the primary medicinal part, are harvested in autumn of the plant's 2nd or 3rd year when valerianic acid concentration is highest. Let it self-seed freely. It will colonize appropriate spots in your garden and provide a continuous supply of young plants. Herb number 9. Elderberry, the antiviral powerhouse. The global elderberry supplement market is worth over $1 billion annually. People are paying $15 to $40 a bottle for commercially prepared elderberry syrup. And the shrub that produces these berries grows freely across the temperate world, in hedgerows, in parks, at roadsides, in backyards, and can be established in any garden from a single cutting for almost nothing. The communities that used elderberry medicinally for thousands of years did not pay a premium for it. They simply walked outside. And what they were accessing, what modern clinical trials have now confirmed, is one of the most effective natural antiviral preparations known to science, effective against influenza, the common cold, and multiple other respiratory viruses. Remedy, elderberry syrup. Make your own. 1 cup dried elderberries, or 2 cups fresh, simmered in 3 cups of water for 45 minutes until liquid reduces by half. Mash the berries. Strain through fine mesh. Allow the liquid to cool to warm. Add 1 cup of raw honey. Add honey only after cooling. High heat destroys honey's antimicrobial enzymes. Add 1 cinnamon stick, 3 whole cloves, and 2 centiliters of fresh ginger during simmering for additional antiviral and anti-inflammatory activity. Store in the refrigerator for up to 2 months. Take 1 tablespoon daily for prevention. Take 1 tablespoon every 3 hours during active illness. This preparation contains the same concentration of anthocyanins as commercial elderberry products, for a fraction of the cost, from berries you grew yourself. Growing tip. Elderberry is one of the most generous and fastest-growing perennial shrubs you can plant. In most growing zones, it will reach full fruiting size within 2 to 3 years of planting. Plant at least 2 different varieties for cross-pollination and maximum fruit production. It tolerates poor soil, partial shade, and periodic waterlogging, making it one of the most adaptable plants for difficult garden spots. Hardy in zones 3 through 9. Prune hard every 2 to 3 years to rejuvenate. A mature elderberry can produce 5 to 15 pounds of berries annually, enough to make a year's supply of elderberry syrup from a single plant. Herb, curten, comfrey, the plant that heals. Broken bones. Faster than a cast that most doctors have never heard of. Every herb on today's list has been remarkable, but I saved the most surprising for last. Not the most potent, not the most dramatic, the most surprising. Because this is the herb that people look at when I tell them what it does and say, that cannot be right. Then they look up the research, and they go very quiet. Comfrey, Symphytum officinale, has been used in European folk medicine for over 2,000 years for one primary purpose: healing broken bones so effectively that its traditional English name is literally knit bone. And in 2004, a randomized controlled clinical trial published in the journal Phytomedicine tested comfrey root extract against a standard cast in healing ankle sprains and bone stress injuries. The comfrey group healed faster in a clinical trial against a cast. Remedy, bone, joint, and muscle healing protocol. For external use only, comfrey root preparations are applied topically, not consumed internally. Comfrey contains pyrrolizidine alkaloids that can be harmful to the liver in large internal doses over time. Simmer 3 tablespoons of dried comfrey root in 500 ml of water for 20 minutes. Strain, allow to cool. Soak a clean cloth in the warm liquid and apply as a compress to injured areas, sprains, fractures, joint inflammation, bruising, muscle tears, for 30 minutes, twice daily. The allantoin penetrates the skin and reaches damaged tissue within minutes of application. This is the preparation that has been healing broken bones and torn ligaments across Europe for 2,000 years and is now confirmed by clinical trial evidence. Growing tip. Comfrey is one of the most vigorous and persistent perennials in existence. Plant it where you want it permanently, because it is extraordinarily difficult to remove once established. Any fragment of root left in the soil will regenerate into a new plant. Grows in full sun to deep shade in almost any soil, including wet, clay, and poor conditions that defeat other herbs. Hardy in zones 3 through 9. Its deep taproot mines minerals from the subsoil and can be used as a nutrient-rich green mulch for other garden plants. Plant once and harvest generously for 20 or more years. 10 herbs: lavender, rosemary, echinacea, lemon balm, peppermint, oregano, thyme, valerian, elderberry, comfrey. Plant them once. They grow back every year. They give you medicine every year. They ask almost nothing of you, and they offer everything. Think about what you spend on over-the-counter medicines annually: cold remedies, sleeping aids, anxiety supplements, pain relief, digestive products, immune supplements. Every single one of those categories has a perennial herb in today's video, confirmed by clinical research, that you could be growing in your garden right now. Not as a replacement for everything your doctor prescribes, as a foundation, as the first line of defense, as the daily practice of someone who has decided that their health is worth a few square feet of soil and one afternoon of planting. Here is your action step, right now, before this video ends. Pick the one herb from today's list that addresses your biggest current health challenge: anxiety, lavender or lemon balm; memory, rosemary; immunity, echinacea or elderberry; sleep, valerian; digestion, peppermint; infection, oregano; respiratory, thyme; pain and injury, comfrey. Find one. Buy it as a plant or seeds this week. Plant it. And then let it grow, year after year after year. Give it back to you, endlessly, as it is always given to the people wise enough to grow it. Your garden is your pharmacy. It always has been. It was just waiting for you to remember.